in Colorado, when you're charged with a DUI, there's really three options that you're looking at: blood, breath, or refusal. I want to talk a little bit about blood testing. When a person submits to a blood test, a lot of people think that their blood is actually just going to be tested, that that's somehow just going to go into some machine and it's going to be analyzed and the result's going to come out, and there is no way that there can be an error in the blood testing. Blood testing relies upon humans, and with humans there can be something called human error. On a DUI case, typically a person who submits to a blood test is taken to a hospital. Doesn't necessarily have to be in hospital, but typically that's the way that it goes. And they have somebody that comes out that is often referred to as a phlebotomist. It is typically a technician that works at the hospital who's called out by the police officer, who pulls the blood out of your arm, and that blood is then sent to a laboratory for an analysis. It's important to know that there needs to be a chain of custody that exists on that blood. You need to be able to track that blood from the time that it was pulled. You need to ensure that it was pulled in conformity with the Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment rules for obtaining the blood, and that it was tested in accordance with the rules by the Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment. What they use, or what laboratories use to test blood, is something called a gas chromatograph. And you'll often see, if you get the results, it'll say GC, which stands for gas chromatograph, with FID, flame ionization detection. So it's a process that they use to test the amount of alcohol that's in the bloodstream. And with here in Colorado, they have to do it in conformity with rules established by the Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment. So what happens is that the blood is pulled, it's typically placed into a kit, and it's shipped to a lab. And there are different labs that are used by different law enforcement agencies here in Colorado, but it's important for a person to know that they've hired an attorney that knows how this testing works, because when you get your discovery, the discovery will include gas chromatograms, which is the actual testing data. And I have been to classes where I am taught what to look for concerning those gas chromatograms. And essentially what you're looking for is separation on those chromatograms that will show peaks, and it'll look like a graph to show how much alcohol is in a person's system. And with that, I will be taking a look at the discovery to see if there is any errors that are apparent on the paperwork concerning a blood test. I do have experts that can look at this, forensic toxicologists that do testing for a living, and sometimes I'll ship it out to them. But I can at least speak the language with them to understand that when it comes to blood alcohol testing. Blood alcohol testing uses headspace gas chromatography, so they're actually testing the gas above your blood. They're not actually dipping in and shooting your blood into some magical machine. It just doesn't work that way. But there is protocol that exists concerning blood alcohol testing. There is a chain of custody requirement to track that through. Errors have occurred on blood alcohol testing. I don't know if any particular client, when they come in and see me, is going to have one of those errors, but it has occurred. I can anticipate that it's going to continue to occur, and it's important to have an attorney that understands the science behind blood alcohol testing, advocating for a client.